Ever feel like your life's just a loading screen? A never-ending sequence of objectives, a digital pat on the head, or a phantom punch in the gut? You wake up, you hit your steps, you clear your inbox, you chase the next fleeting hit of progress. That twitch you feel, that gnawing sense that you're always doing but never quite being. That's the game, and you're playing it without even knowing you've signed up. They've taken the subtle, messy, beautiful art of human motivation and reduced it to a Skinner box. Points, badges, streaks, and leaderboards. They've figured out how to turn your every impulse, your every aspiration, even your deepest anxieties, into a digital quest. And you, the eager little avatar, are out there chasing the next virtual carrot, convinced that you're leveling up. This isn't about self-improvement, not really. This is about control. It's about turning your life into a measurable, predictable product. Every decision you make, every swipe, every achievement, it's all data, and you're buying into it. Hook, line, and sinking feeling. Who benefits? Not you. You're just another cog in their machine, another data point in their grand design. They want you compliant, predictable, and constantly engaged. They want you focused on the next arbitrary target so you don't look up and ask who's actually pulling the strings. In this episode of The Observing Eye, we're going to rip apart this illusion. We're going to expose how the gamification of life isn't just a benign trend, but a sophisticated system designed to keep you running on their hamster wheel. We'll dive into the illusion of progress they sell you, how you've become a raw commodity in their data mine, and how even your pursuit of self-improvement has been twisted into a competitive sport. Then we'll talk about smashing the joystick, not that joystick, about reclaiming your agency and stepping outside their rigged game, because the ultimate victory isn't found in a high score. It's found in recognizing the game, then refusing to play by their rules. Let's get started. 835. Alright, Project Mayhem, let's talk about the first lie that they whisper to you. The biggest con in their digital arsenal, the illusion of progress. Take a look at your phone. Go ahead, I know you're holding it. What do you see? Fitness apps, productivity apps, banking apps that give you digital badges for saving money that you don't have. Your coffee shop loyalty card promising a free mediocre latte after enough scans. They're all singing the same sweet, insidious lullaby. You're making progress. You're getting somewhere. Look at you, you magnificent bastard. You're winning. But are you? Really? Or are you just racking up empty points in a game designed to keep you on the treadmill, running faster and faster, convinced you're gaining ground, when all you're doing is generating data for the same fuckers who designed the damn thing? This isn't just about a harmless bit of fun. It's about a fundamental distortion of what it means to live, to grow, and to genuinely achieve. It's an opiate, a digital soma, masking the quiet desperation of a life constantly chasing a synthetic high. Think about your daily grind. Used to be that you just did things. You worked, you lived, you ate, you slept. Simple, brutal, and real. But now it's all been broken down, digitized, and presented back to you as a fucking quest log. Your to-do list isn't just a list, it's a series of tasks to be completed. Your workout isn't just exercise, it's a challenge to be mastered, with virtual high fives and automated congratulations. You track your sleep, your water intake, your mental health, your spiritual journey. All of it reduced to a series of check marks, streaks, and colourful graphs. They've taken the complex organic mess that is human existence and flattened it into a two-dimensional interface. Every breath, every decision, every moment of your waking life is being categorized, quantified, and assigned a value. Not a real value, mind you, a game value, a number, a line on the graph that's supposedly trending upwards. This reminds me of Jeremy Bentham's panopticon, which we spoke about a few episodes back, not as a physical prism, but as a digital one. You're constantly under surveillance, not by a single guard, but by the omnipresent eye of the algorithm. And the very act of tracking yourself contributes to your own willing incarceration. And why do we buy into it? Because we're starved for meaning. We're so disconnected from tangible results, from the satisfaction of building something with our own hands, or truly connecting with another human being, that we'll grasp at any digital scrap of validation they throw at us. We confuse activity with accomplishment. We confuse motion with movement. We confuse the act of ticking a box with actually doing something that matters. It's the ultimate sleight of hand. They give you the illusion of control, the feeling of agency, by letting you complete meaningless digital tasks, while quietly stripping away your actual agency in the real world. You're so busy completing their quests that you don't even notice the bars on your cage. This isn't about becoming more free, it's about becoming more easily managed. Remember those gold stars that you used to get in school when you were a kid, the little sticker charts or the pats on the head for putting the blocks away? There's a good boy. Now, they've just digitized this idea, and they're still treating you like a child. You get a badge for walking 10,000 steps, a notification for completing your morning routine every day of the week, a virtual trophy for hitting your focus goal in some productivity app. What do they mean? Do they signify genuine growth, real resilience, or a profound shift in your character? Or do they just signify that you've clicked a button, followed an instruction, and kept your eyes glued to the screen long enough to get your digital biscuit? This is the badge culture, a pathetic attempt to provide meaning through trivial external validation, echoing the existential void that perhaps Hannah Arendt might describe as the banality of evil, where profound human actions are reduced to mechanical, thoughtless participation. It's hollow. It's an empty ache in your gut, disguised as a feeling of accomplishment. That brief surge of dopamine when you see the animated badge pop up, it's cheap, it's a fleeting hit, designed to keep you coming back for more, like a lab rat pressing a lever. You chase the next badge, the next streak, because it's the only way you know how to feel like you're doing something right. Like you're not just failing. And while you're busy chasing these digital trinkets, what are you missing? The genuine satisfaction of a truly challenging run in the real world, where the only reward is the burn of your lungs and the clarity of your mind. The quiet pride of a task well done simply for the sake of doing it well with no need for external applause. The intrinsic motivation that comes from being truly engaged, truly present, truly alive, instead of just another participant in their endless, pointless game. This constant pursuit of external validation, this never-ending quest for the next digital thing, it's corrosive. It hollows you out. It replaces the deep, satisfying wellspring of inner drive with a desperate need for superficial external reward. You're not doing it for yourself anymore. You're doing it for the algorithm, for the score, for the phantom applause of a system that doesn't give a damn about you. It's a form of what the Frankfurt School critics might call cultural industry, where even the basic human need for self-actualization is packaged, sold, and thus rendered meaningless. And then there's the big one. The ultimate gamified arena, the grand coliseum where your entire life is on display, quantified, ranked, and judged. Social media. Instagram likes, TikTok views, LinkedIn endorsements, Facebook reactions. It's not about connection, it's not about sharing. It's about competition. A constant, exhausting leaderboard of who's winning at life, who's got the perfect aesthetic, the ideal body, the dream vacation, the thriving career. You, the unwitting contestant, are constantly comparing your raw, messy, unedited reality to someone else's meticulously curated, heavily filtered and perfectly framed highlight reel. And of course you lose. You always lose. Because it's not a fair game. It's not even a real game. It's a performance. And you're just another member of the audience, judging yourself by the impossible standards they've set. Every post is a submission to the scoreboard. Every comment, every share, every fleeting reaction is a score. And you're playing for an audience of strangers, desperate for their fleeting approval. Your worth, your success, your very happiness becomes tied to the number of likes, the size of your following, the algorithm's fickle favor. This isn't social. This is a perpetual popularity contest, a digital circus where your self-worth is determined by the size of the crowd's fleeting applause. It's a modern iteration of Plato's cave, where the shadows on the wall, the curated images and manufactured metrics are mistaken for reality, and you're too busy watching the performance to realize you're part of it. This constant pursuit of external validation, this never-ending quest for the next digital trinket, for the highest score, for the phantom applause, is a subtle but relentless erosion of your intrinsic motivation. When you start doing things for the badge, for the streak, you stop doing them for the genuine satisfaction, for the inner growth, for the sheer joy of it. You become dependent on the game, rather than the genuine drive to learn, to create, to connect. You are no longer the master of your own motivations. You are a puppet dancing for the algorithm. Think about it. You eat healthy not because your body feels better, but because your food tracking app tells you you're hitting your macros. The pleasure of nutritious food, the energy it gives you, these are secondary to the green checkmark. You read books not for the expansion of your mind, but to log them on Goodreads and hit your reading challenge goal. The actual insight, the pleasure of getting lost in a narrative, that is less important than the number on your profile. In doing all of this, you lose touch with the very essence of what makes you human. Your messy, unpredictable, unquantifiable spirit. This illusion of progress is a treadmill to nowhere. You're running hard, you're sweating, you're hitting all the targets they set you, but you're not actually moving forward. You're just generating heat, generating data, and generating a false sense of accomplishment. They've convinced you that life is a game you can win by following their rules, and they've given you just enough crumbs to keep you hungry, to keep you chasing, to keep you believing that the next badge, the next like, will finally make you whole. It won't. It never will. It's a ghost, a mirage, a clever trick to keep you distracted while they pick your pockets. This is the myth of Sisyphus reincarnated for the digital age. A relentless, endless task, but instead of a rock, it's a notification, and instead of a mountain, it's a data point. The only difference is Sisyphus knew he was condemned. You're often too busy celebrating your virtual progress to even realize that you're in chains. So you've been busy, haven't you? Ticking boxes, earning badges, chasing those phantom points. You feel good about it, right? A sense of progress, a little hit of dopamine. That's what they want you to feel. That's the bait. But while you're busy admiring your shiny new sticker, they are busy stripping you bare. This isn't charity, Project Mayhem. This isn't about making your life better. This is about making them richer, and you, my friend, are the fucking product. Let's cut the bullshit. They're not giving you badges for fun. They're not offering you streaks out of the goodness of their corporate hearts. They're collecting data. Every tap, every swipe, every achievement you make, every damn moment you spend engaged in their gamified little playground, it's a breadcrumb. A digital fingerprint leading them deeper into the labyrinth of your desires, your fears, your spending habits, your political leanings, your deepest, darkest secrets. Michel Foucault, in his work on disciplinary power, spoke of surveillance as a mechanism of control, and here, in the digital age, we have the ultimate form of it. A pervasive, invisible system that not only observes your every move, but incentivizes you to perform them, logging every action into an ever-expanding dossier of your existence. This isn't just about privacy. It's about the fundamental redefinition of human subjectivity, where your actions become data points for analysis and manipulation. Every single interaction you have with a gamified app or platform is meticulously recorded. Your fitness tracker isn't just celebrating your 10,000 steps, it's logging your exact route, your pace, your heart rate, even your preferred time of day for exercise. It knows when you're consistent and when you slack off. It knows your sleep patterns, your sedentary periods, your stress levels. It builds a precise, intimate profile of your physical being. Your language learning app isn't just giving you points for correct answers, it's tracking your learning style, your strengths and weaknesses in different grammatical structures, the speed at which you acquire new vocabulary. It knows what motivates you to keep studying and what makes you disengage. Your productivity app isn't just awarding you for focused work blocks, it's charting your peak productivity times, your common distractions, the type of tasks you gravitate towards and the ones you consistently procrastinate on. It understands your work habits better than you do. This isn't just about your preferences. This is about painting a comprehensive, terrifyingly accurate portrait of your entire self. A data doppelganger that exists solely to be analysed, sliced and sold to the highest bidder. And all the while, you're happily feeding the beast, convinced you're getting something of value. The badges, the points, they are just the sugar on the poison pill. Now here's where it gets truly insidious. The better they understand you, the more data they have, the better they can manipulate you. Gamification isn't just about making things fun. It's about subtly, almost imperceptibly nudging your behavior. It's about steering your choices, guiding your actions, and ultimately directing your desires. Now consider this. A financial app gives you a savings streak badge. You feel good, you keep saving. But what if that streak subtly encourages you to keep your money in their low-interest account rather than seeking a better return elsewhere? What if the rewards lead you to invest in their preferred funds rather than a truly diverse option? They're not just encouraging saving, they're subtly directing your financial liquidity into their ecosystem. Or a health app gives you points for walking to a specific store or choosing a particular brand of healthy snack. Is it truly about your well-being, or is it about driving foot traffic and brand loyalty for their partners? They're turning your healthy choices into a sponsored quest. They are not just observing you, they are influencing you. They're using the dopamine hit of gamification to create new habits, new needs, and new desires. They're crafting new pathways in your brain, guiding you down specific aisles in the digital marketplace. They're making you want what they want you to want. And you, the unwitting puppet, are dancing on their strings, convinced you're making free choices. This is a subtle form of predictive programming where your future actions are not only anticipated, but actively shaped by the very systems you engage with, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of consumerism and compliance. In this digital age, your attention isn't just valuable, it's the fucking currency. These gamified experiences are meticulously designed to hook you, to keep you scrolling, tapping, engaging, and consuming. Because every second you're playing their game is a second they're monetizing. Think about the relentless notifications, the pop-ups, the challenges that reset daily or weekly, designed to keep you coming back. It's not about you getting value, it's about them extracting value from you. Your eyeballs, your clicks, your precious finite attention. They're all being packaged and sold to advertisers who want to target you with pinpoint accuracy based on the data they've collected about your desires, to corporations who want to understand your habits and behaviors so they can better tailor their products and services to exploit your weaknesses. And you, sitting there eyes glazed over, mindlessly chasing the next carrot, are literally trading your life force for fleeting manufactured rewards. You're sacrificing your presence in the real world for a manufactured reality designed to keep you hooked. They have weaponized human psychology against you. They know your need for achievement, your desire for belonging, your fear of missing out, and they've engineered their systems to exploit every single one of those vulnerabilities, transforming your deepest needs into levers for their profit. This is the ultimate commodification of human experience, reducing even our intrinsic desires to something that can be bought and sold, a concept Karl Marx would recognize as the alienation of labor, but applied to the very fabric of our being. You think that you're making choices, but you are just navigating a meticulously crafted maze. A maze where rewards are strategically placed to guide you down the path they want you to take. Every choice you make within a gamified system is a choice prevented to you by the system itself. You're not choosing to run. You're choosing to close your rings. You're not choosing to learn, you're choosing to earn points on a specific module. You are not choosing to connect, you are choosing to get likes on a post. They are not giving you freedom, they are giving you the illusion of freedom within a predefined framework. It's like a rat in a maze pressing levers for food pellets, convinced it's making intelligent decisions. But the rat didn't design the maze, and it certainly didn't choose the food pellets. Jean Baudrillard's concept of simulacra and simulation comes to mind here, where the gamified life becomes a hyper-reality, a copy without an original, where the simulated experience of progress replaces authentic lived experience, rendering the very notion of choice a mere facade. Your desires become their directives, your motivations become their means. You think you're pursuing your goals, but you're really just following the breadcrumbs they laid out for you, leading you deeper into their data mine, deeper into their profit margins. And the worst part is that you're complicit. You willingly hand over the data. You willingly engage in their systems. You willingly believe the lie that this is somehow making your life better. You are the architect of your own digital cage, meticulously building it brick by brick with every tap, every swipe, and every achievement you make. The illusion of progress, the constant feeling of leveling up, is just a camouflage. The real game is the one happening behind the screen, where your entire existence is being quantified, monetized, and used to further the power of those who designed the game. They're not just observing you, they're farming you. And you're so busy playing their game, you don't even realize that you're the crop. You ever notice how suddenly everything you should be doing, everything you could be, has a price tag attached? Your sleep, your diet, your mind, your very soul. Once self-improvement was a messy internal struggle, a quiet battle waged within your own skull, or maybe in a dusty old book, but now it's a subscription service, a premium upgrade, a 30-day challenge with a mandatory sign-up fee. They've taken the deepest human yearning, the desire to be better, to achieve something akin to Aristotle's eudaimonia, that elusive flourishing, and turned it into another market. Welcome to the commodification of your potential. Enlightenment has been transformed into an RPG, a role-playing game where you are the character and you level up by buying their courses, using their apps, and following their prescribed paths. It's not about genuine transformation anymore. It's about collecting the right skills, ticking the right boxes, and showing off your progress to a world that's equally lost in the same illusion. Think about the sheer volume of self-help content shoved down your throat every single day. The podcasts, the webinars, the masterclasses, the online certifications. They all promise to unlock your inner genius, to make you manifest your dreams, to help you achieve peak performance. And they all come with a meticulously designed gaming structure. Want to improve your public speaking? Here, an eloquent orator skill tree. You complete a module and suddenly you've earned your bronze badge. You practice these exercises and there's your silver. But the real good stuff, the advanced persuasion, that's locked behind a premium module waiting for you to fork over more cash for that elusive gold badge. Every minute you spend in their app, every exercise you complete, every video you watch, it all earns you experience points. You watch the numbers climb, convinced you're getting smarter, wiser, more capable, when all you're doing is consuming content they produced. They feed you daily quests. Meditate for 10 minutes, journal for 5, learn a new word. These aren't just suggestions, they're digital chores designed to keep you engaged, to keep you logging in, and to keep you paying that monthly fee. You miss a day? Your streak breaks. Feel the guilt. Re-engage. Buy back your progress with renewed engagement. I'm looking at you, Duolingo, and your fucking owl. The secret to true happiness is always just beyond that paywall. The advanced meditation technique is only available to premium members. They dangle the ultimate reward, the ultimate level up, just out of reach, forcing you to keep spending and to keep grinding. This isn't genuine growth. It's a consumer cycle disguised as enlightenment. They're selling you the illusion of progress and you're buying it because the alternative, the messy, undirected work of actual self-improvement, feels too hard, too slow, and too unquantifiable in a world obsessed with metrics. They've capitalized on your deepest insecurities, your yearning for meaning and competence, and presented it as a game you can simply buy your way through. And the irony is the more you consume of their self-help, the less likely you are to develop the inner resources needed for true, authentic change. You become dependent on their external validation, their structured paths, their pre-packaged wisdom. You're constantly searching for the next hack, the next trick, rather than cultivating the discipline and self-awareness to forge your own path. This is a direct affront to any notion of genuine self-development. It's a profound alienation of the self, where the very journey of becoming is externalized and controlled by market forces. The gamification of wellness is perhaps the most insidious. It takes something that should be intuitive, organic, and deeply personal, your physical and mental health, and turns it into a relentless, quantifiable obsession. Your fitness tracker screams at you about your steps, your calories burned, your active minute, your heart rate zones. They've turned exercise into a competitive sport. It's not about feeling strong or having energy or enjoying movement. It's about hitting targets. The actual sensation of your body, its aches and its triumphs, is secondary to the glowing numbers on your wrist. This transformation of the body into a measurable entity, subject to constant monitoring and correction, is disturbingly aligned with Foucault's analysis of the disciplined body in modern institutions. You become your own jailer, endlessly striving for a perfect biometric score. Even your unconscious hours are being quantified. Your sleep is assigned a score, a metric of your nightly performance. Is it really about waking up refreshed, or is it about achieving that coveted 90+ sleep score on your app? The natural rhythm of your body is replaced by the tyranny of a digital metric, forcing you to chase an arbitrary number instead of genuine rest. And yes, even meditation. They've gamified inner peace. Streaks for consecutive days of silent contemplation. Levels for reaching deeper states of consciousness. It's not about the quiet internal experience of presence. It's about racking up minutes, hitting milestones, and proving to an algorithm that you're mindful. The very act of being present becomes a task to be completed, a score to be achieved, ironically pulling you out of the moment you're trying to cultivate. This constant pursuit of an idealized, digitized self is joyless. It is a relentless, exhausting race against an impossible standard. It divorces you from the wisdom of your own body, your own intuition. You are constantly seeking external validation rather than listening to the subtle signals of your own well-being. You become a slave to the metrics, perpetually striving for a perfect score that exists only in the digital realm, while your real, messy, glorious body and mind are neglected in the pursuit of their manufactured game. This reduces the richness of human experience to mere quantifiable data, a form of reification where subjective qualities become objective things to be manipulated and exchanged. And then, of course, there's the professional realm. I couldn't forget that, could I? The hustle culture. I fucking love the hustle culture. It's not about hard work. It's about relentless optimization 24/7. The productivity game. Turn your working life into a series of sprints with phantom bonuses and efficiency badges as your reward. Think about project management tools. They break down complex projects into granular tasks, assigning points for completion, tracking individual performance. It turns collaboration into competition and creative work into a production line. This creates a constant state of comparison and individual competition, destroying the very fabric of collective effort. It exploits primal instincts for status and dominance, pushing people to their breaking point for bragging rights on a digital board, reducing complex human interactions to crude metrics of success. Even deep work apps, while promising focus, still track your focused minutes, give you streaks for sustained concentration, and assign points for completing sessions. The act of not being distracted becomes a quantifiable, gamified performance, ironically turning genuine engagement into another task to be measured and judged. And for what? So you can be a more effective cog in their machine? So you can extract more value for their bottom line? So you can work harder, longer, with less complaint, driven by the illusion of personal achievement and the fear of falling behind on some arbitrary scoreboard? Your burnout is just another data point. Your mental health is an externality. All that matters is the metric. They've made work into a game where the only real winner is the company. And you, the highly optimized, badge-laden worker bee, are just one more resource to be extracted, a living embodiment of the ultimate alienated labor. When your self-worth becomes tied to external metrics, you lose touch with your inner compass. You become dependent on the game, rather than the genuine drive to grow. You lose your autonomy. You stop asking, what do I want to learn? And start asking, what courses will give me the most XP? You stop asking, what does my body need? And start asking, how many calories does this have? This loss of self-direction, where the external becomes the internal, is a hallmark of what existentialists might call inauthenticity. Living a life determined by others' expectations rather than one's own chosen values. You lose your purpose. The why behind your actions gets buried under the what and the how much. The joy of creation, the satisfaction of genuine connection, the quiet wisdom of self-reflection. These are replaced by the fleeting hit of a digital reward. You become a slave to the system. Your behavior is dictated by algorithms, by the need to maintain a streak. You're no longer acting from a place of genuine desire or intention, but from a place of programmed response. This is not self-improvement. This is self-enslavement disguised as empowerment. They've sold you the narrative that your potential is unlocked through their system, through their metrics, through their rewards. They've convinced you that you need them to become the best version of yourself. But the best version of yourself is not a badge, it's not a high score. It's the quiet, unquantifiable, messy, authentic work of figuring out who the hell you are and what truly matters to you outside of their fucking game. We've seen the wires, we've felt the cage. You're not just a player in their endless, pointless game, you are the consciousness behind the avatar. The power isn't in playing their game better, it's in recognizing that you set the rules for your own existence. The first step to freedom is understanding the game for what it is. See the badges, the points, the streaks for what they truly are, digital shackles. They're designed to keep you trapped, chasing phantom rewards in a manufactured reality. The most immediate, most brutal blow you can land against their system is to simply unplug. Every notification, every ding, every little celebratory animation on your phone is a tiny little electric shock, designed to pull you back into their loop. It's a constant, insistent whisper, demanding your attention, reminding you of the score, the streak, the uncompleted task. It's an addiction, plain and simple, and the first step to breaking any addiction is to cut off the supply. Mute the notifications. All of them. Not just for a few hours, but permanently for the apps that are turning your life into a competitive sport. Your fitness tracker doesn't need to clap for you every time you walk around the block. Your language app doesn't need to scold you for missing a lesson. Your social media certainly doesn't need to tell you who just posted a picture of their avocado toast. This isn't about being productive. It's about reclaiming your mental space from their constant demanding chatter. Delete the apps that turn your life into a quantifiable performance. If it's constantly measuring you, ranking you, comparing you, then it's not serving you, it's serving them. Get rid of the calorie counter if it's making you obsessive. Ditch the gamified productivity tracker if it's making you a slave to the checklist, not a master of your own work. Unfollow the accounts that make you feel inadequate, that turn your social life into a perpetual popularity contest. This isn't about avoidance, it's about disarmament. You're taking away their weapons. You're refusing to participate in the charade. This act of disengagement isn't about becoming less, it's about creating space to become more. When you silence the external scoreboard, you create the quiet necessary to hear your own fucking voice. You free up the mental bandwidth that was constantly being hijacked by their demands. You stop performing for the algorithm and start living for yourself. This is an act of rebellion, quiet but profound. Once you've unplugged from their system, the truly uncomfortable question emerges. What does a good life actually look like to you? Not what the app tells you, not what social media screams, not what some self-help guru's masterclass promises. What does it look like when you strip away all the manufactured desires, all the external pressures, and all the carrots on sticks? Is it peace? Is it genuine connection with a handful of real people, not 1,000 digital followers? Is it creativity expressed for its own sake, not for likes or shares? Is it solitude, found in the quiet moments where your mind isn't being constantly bombarded? Or is it competence, earned through hard, messy work rather than through collecting digital badges? This is where the real work begins. It's about looking inward, deeply, uncomfortably. What brings you genuine satisfaction? What gives your existence meaning beyond a quantifiable score? It might be the warmth of a good meal shared with friends, not the calorie count. It might be the satisfaction of fixing something with your own hands, not the speed at which you completed a task. It might be the quiet joy of a walk in nature, unburdened by a step counter. Your definition of success should not be dictated by an algorithm or a corporate marketing department. It should be sculpted by your own hands, forged in the fires of your own experiences, and rooted in your deepest, most authentic values. This is an act of self-authorship. You're writing your own rulebook, finally. They want you to measure everything. They want you to turn every aspect of your life into a data point, a graph, a statistic. But the truth is, the most profound, most meaningful aspects of human experience are utterly unquantifiable. They defy the sterile logic of their gamified systems. How do you quantify a meaningful conversation? How do you assign a score to a moment of genuine awe, standing before a breathtaking landscape or lost in a piece of music? How do you measure the comfort of a quiet afternoon of reflection where thoughts meander without purpose or objective? These moments, these experiences give life its texture, its depth, its true richness. They are subjective, often inefficient, and profoundly human. And because they can't be measured, they are dismissed by the gamified world. But that's their weakness, not yours. That's where your strength lies. The unquantifiable is where your true freedom resides. Embrace the moments that don't fit into a spreadsheet, that don't earn you a badge, that can't be optimized or streamlined. Lean into the inefficiencies, the detours, the spontaneous bursts of joy or sorrow that refuse to be categorized. This means spending time simply being rather than always doing. It means valuing presence over productivity. It means finding satisfaction in the inherent beauty of an experience rather than its external validation. This is about prioritizing the qualitative over the quantitative and understanding that some of the most profound victories are those that leave no digital trace. This is an act of radical acceptance of the true, ungamified nature of life. Now, let's talk about boredom. In a world that demands constant engagement, constant stimulation, constant progress, there is a revolutionary act that can liberate your mind. Embrace boredom. They hate boredom. They've designed their entire digital ecosystem to annihilate it. Every lull, every quiet moment, every flicker of unease is immediately filled with a notification, a new piece of content, or a new game. Because a bored mind is a thinking mind. A bored mind starts to ask uncomfortable questions. A bored mind starts to wander, to explore, to create connections that the algorithms never intended. Let your mind wander. Let it be messy. Let it grapple with difficult thoughts without immediate distraction. Sit in silence, stare at a wall, take a walk without a podcast in your ears or a tracker on your wrist. It's in those moments of undirected, utterly mundane existence that true insight can emerge. This is where original thoughts are born, where creativity sparks, where genuine problem solving can occur. It's where you reconnect with your deepest self away from the constant noise and the endless demands of their system. Boredom is the fertile ground for genuine curiosity, for true imagination. It's the space where you stop being a programmed responder and start becoming an original thinker. This is an act of cognitive liberation. You are starving their algorithms and feeding your own mind. You're not just a player in this rigged game, you are the consciousness that perceives the game. You are the ultimate game designer of your own existence. The power isn't in playing their game better. It's in recognizing that you set the rules for your own existence. You are the only one who can define the terms of your engagement with the world. So cultivate your intrinsic motivation. Do things because they matter to you, not because they'll earn you a badge or a like. Rediscover the joy of mastery for its own sake, learning a skill because it fascinates you, not because it's a course objective. Experience the satisfaction of genuine creation, the quiet strength of self-reliance, unburdened by external validation. Build your own set of rules. What are your real goals? What are your true values? How do you measure your own success? Create systems for yourself that serve you, not some faceless corporation or algorithm. This means setting your own personal challenges for your own growth, with your own definitions of success answerable only to yourself. The most rebellious act in a gamified world, opting out. Choosing to live a life unmeasured, unranked, and unbought. It's not easy, they've made sure of that. They've built the walls high. But it's the only path to genuine freedom. It's the only way to truly become the architect of your own experience, rather than just another pawn in theirs. So you've pulled back the curtain. You've felt the insidious grip of the gamified life. You've seen how they've reduced your existence to a score and your potential to a product. But this isn't the end of the line. This isn't resignation. This is the moment you transcend. This is where you realize that you are not just an avatar, a player in their digital puppet show. You are the consciousness behind it. You are the observer. And as the observer, you hold the ultimate power. The power isn't in playing their game better or finding a loophole in their rules. The power is in recognizing that you are the game designer. You are the architect of your own reality. They built a cage, shiny and alluring, but you hold the keys. This is about stepping beyond their artificial metrics, beyond their manufactured rewards, and playing a higher game. A game whose rules you define, whose victories only you can truly understand. For too long, you've been a participant in someone else's twisted design. You've responded to their prompts, chased their carrots, submitted to their algorithms. Now it's time to seize the blueprint. You possess the innate capacity to design your own life, to set your own challenges, to define your own meaning. This is the very essence of existentialism, the brutal truth that your existence precedes essence. There's no preordained instruction manual for you. You are condemned to be free. And with that freedom comes the terrifying responsibility to define your own purpose. You are the sole legislator of your own being, a concept echoed in Kant's idea of autonomy, where true freedom lies in acting according to self-imposed rational principles, not external dictates. This isn't about running away from all systems. That's a fool's errand in a connected world. It's about consciously choosing which systems you engage with and on what terms. It's about building your own systems, your own routines, your own metrics of success based on what genuinely resonates with you, not what some app or corporation tells you should matter. Think about this. Instead of a fitness app dictating your goals, what if you decided to train for a specific personal challenge? Perhaps climbing a mountain, or simply being able to carry your own fucking groceries without gasping for air, purely for the internal satisfaction. Instead of a productivity app assigning you tasks, what if you consciously chose to dedicate a block of time each day to an intrinsically motivating project, something that truly sparks your curiosity, regardless of whether it earned you a badge? This is about shifting your locus of control from external validation to internal intention. You become the programmer of your own existence, rather than merely executing someone else's code. The gamified world thrives on external rewards. Points, likes, and badges. These are all cheap tricks to bypass your internal compass. But the raw, undeniable truth is that the most powerful, most sustainable motivation comes from within. It's intrinsic motivation. This is the pursuit of genuine arete, or excellence, not for a score, but for the virtuous act itself, as ancient Greek philosophy taught us. You act not for the external good, but for the inherent good of the action and the character it builds within you. Do things because they genuinely matter to you, not because they'll earn you a badge or a like or a pat on the head. Learn a skill for the sheer joy of mastery, for the elegance of understanding, for the quiet satisfaction of seeing yourself grow. Not to get certified, not to impress a future employer, but because the act of learning itself is its own reward. Embrace Spinoza's concept of conatus, the inherent striving of every being to persevere in its own existence and to increase its power of acting. Rediscover the simple pleasure of creation. Build something with your hands, write something from your soul, craft something beautiful, purely for the act of crafting. The reward isn't the applause, it's the process, the focus, the tangible manifestation of your own effort and imagination. Embrace the strength of self-reliance, the satisfaction of solving a problem for yourself, of navigating a challenge without needing an app to guide every step, of finding your own answers. This builds true resilience, a deep-seated confidence that can't be shaken by a fluctuating score on a leaderboard. It's the difference between told you're valuable and knowing you are. This isn't easy. They have systematically trained you to crave external validation, to distrust your own internal signals. Breaking that conditioning takes conscious effort, a sustained act of defiance against the currents of the digital age. But every small step you take towards intrinsic motivation is a step towards true liberation. It's about remembering what it felt like to be a child, engrossed in play purely for the joy of it, before the world starting assigning scores and rules. They want you to play by their rules. They want you to chase their rewards. But what if you designed your own game? What if the only scoreboard that truly mattered was the one in your own mind, measuring against your own definition of success? This means a radical re-evaluation of your values. What are your real goals? Not the ones they've implanted, but the ones that resonate deep in your gut. What truly defines a life well lived for you? Is it financial freedom, creative expression, deep relationships, personal growth, contributing to something larger than yourself? These aren't abstract concepts. They are the bedrock upon which you build your personal operating system, your own unique moral compass. This is the virtue ethics approach to life, focusing on cultivating internal character traits and values rather than merely calculating outcomes or obeying external rules. Then, build your own systems. Create routines that serve you, that nurture your authentic self, that align with your deeply held values. Maybe your daily quest isn't to close rings on a watch, but to spend 30 minutes in genuine, uninterrupted conversation with a loved one, finding value in human connection that transcends any metric. Maybe your progress metric isn't followers, but the depth and quality of your personal relationships. Maybe your streak isn't consecutive days of an app, but consecutive days spent in genuine creative flow, unburdened by external deadlines or validation. Your rewards won't be digital badges. They'll be the quiet satisfaction of a life genuinely lived. They'll be the strength in your body after a real workout, not just a score. They'll be the clarity in your mind after a period of deep focus, not just a timer. They'll be the warmth in your heart after a meaningful connection, not just a number of likes. These rewards are richer, more lasting, and infinitely more profound because they are real. They are earned not in the ether, but in the beautiful reality of your own existence. This is the act of self-mastery. You are setting the terms of your own triumph, becoming the master of your own destiny, much like a Stoic philosopher focusing on what is within their control and letting go of what is not. In a world that demands constant engagement, constant performance, and constant visibility, the most rebellious act is simply to opt out, to choose a life unmeasured and uncompared. This is the true revolution, a form of active anarchism against the digital state, rejecting its power to define your worth and direct your actions. It's a modern echo of Diogenes the cynic, living deliberately and rejecting societal norms and artificial desires, finding freedom in self-sufficiency and plain living. It's about creating boundaries around your time, your attention, your mental space. It's about saying no to the endless demands of the gamified machine and choosing yes to the quiet, unseen work of building a life that truly nourishes your soul. This revolution isn't fought on the streets or in front of cameras. It's fought in the moments of your day. It's fought when you choose to read a physical book instead of scrolling through Instagram. It's fought when you have a real conversation instead of texting. It's fought when you go for a walk not to track steps but to simply walk. It's fought when you create something without the intention of sharing it or gaining external approval. It's about reclaiming your inherent worth, stripping away the layers of gamified conditioning, and remembering that your value isn't tied to any external metric. It's intrinsic, it's absolute, and it needs no validation from anyone or anything but yourself. The ultimate badge of honor isn't earned on a screen. It's earned through genuine living when you are free from the tyranny of the score, truly in command of your own existence. You are the observer, you are the architect. Now go live. So there it is, the gamification of your life. It isn't about making things better, it's about control, it's about commodification. It's about turning you into a predictable, consumable resource. They've sold you a sleek digital cage and told you it's a playground. We've peeled back the layers of this insidious game. We've seen the illusion of progress they dangle like a cheap carnival prize, designed to keep you running on their treadmill. We've exposed how every achievement makes you a commodity in their vast data mine, turning your existence into profit. And we've ripped apart the lie that your self-improvement needs their metrics, their badges, and their manufactured goals. You've been trapped in their maze, chasing their phantom rewards, convinced you are leveling up. But the truth is that while you were busy trying to achieve their perfect score, you were losing the only game that truly matters, your own life. This isn't about being Luddites. It's not about smashing every screen in your house and retreating into a cave. It's about awareness. It's about agency. It's about understanding the subtle, relentless ways they've tried to program you, to direct your desires, and to monetize your very breath. The revolution isn't going to be televised. It's going to be ungamified. It begins when you silence their noise, when you refuse to play by their rules, when you redefine what winning means on your terms for your life. It begins when you remember that your intrinsic worth isn't tied to any number, any streak, or any badge that they can conjure. Are you going to keep chasing their phantom rewards? Are you going to keep living a life designed by an algorithm? Or are you going to smash the joystick? Not like that. The choice, as always, is yours. Stop being a player in someone else's rigged game. Start living, start observing, start being. The ultimate badge of honor isn't earned on a screen, it's earned in the quiet, unquantifiable moments of your living, when you're free from the tyranny of the score and truly in command of your own existence. Thank you for joining me on this little philosophical expedition today. You know that I deeply appreciate your presence and your attention. And if you found anything in this episode useful, or you think that someone else might find it interesting as well, then please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Here comes that hideous marketing bullshit, because we have to do this, unfortunately. But we are on social media, as much as I loathe those platforms. You can find us on Instagram, on X, and on TikTok with the handle @TheObservingEye. We're on YouTube, where you can go and watch our videos, which is youtube.com/@TheObservingEye. And we've also got a beautiful website on Substack, which is theobservingeye.com. So all of those platforms, you can go and chat to us and engage and comment and all of the usual things that you can do with these social spaces. I've also got an email, which I'm not entirely sure is a good idea, but you can email me at david@theobservingeye.com with your questions or suggestions or anything you want to get off your chest about philosophy. Not therapy, I can't be your therapist, but I'm happy to field philosophical questions and existential horrors. That's all good. And I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can, which is normally within a day or so. Thanks everybody, take care, much love, and I'll catch you soon.